Now, this was a game that had been circled on my calendar all year long. Going up against two legitimate defensive superstars in a rivalry game. If that kind of challenge doesn't get you up for a game, what will? I knew there was probably no right answer to this question. I mean, we were dealing with two all-pro caliber players, but I just had to find a way to needle my rival one more time.
Today, from CenturyLink Field in Seattle, Washington, it's Week 17 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Seattle Seahawks taking on the San Francisco 49ers.
It is loud and it is wet as we welcome you inside CenturyLink Field on a patented rainy afternoon in Seattle, Washington. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They come in at 15-0, one win short of a perfect regular season.
And it's something we've only seen a couple of times. Miami in 1972, New England in 2007. We know they're not going to mail it in. They're going to go for it.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And a look here at their go-to guy under center. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored. You give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout. And that means your offense has to keep pace.
2nd and 9 now. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
It's 3rd down and 9 yards to go.
They'll look to throw here. And that will be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. So here are the Seahawks now with a long field in front of them. And they'll be led out by the man running the show. There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Miles Sanders, first carry of the game. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 13.
2nd and 11. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. He's got a man complete. And all the way down to the 35.
That's good.
A big play that time for the Seahawks. 52 yards.
10 at the 35-yard line.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. Fighting through it, he's got space. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Now, this is the second meeting of the season between these two division rivals. And as was the case earlier in the year, there seems to be a more reserved and serious approach from both of these teams heading into this late season matchup than we saw last year.
Yeah, I think maybe the coaches have had enough of the social media antics going into this game. From what we heard this week, they went old school and said, let's just cut this nonsense out. And to be clear, this rivalry has never needed all that off-field noise. Plenty of history between these two franchises. And this year especially, we know we don't need anything distracting us from the fact that both of these teams look like they could be Super Bowl contenders. Let's just go play the game.
Yeah, boy, the strength on display there as he rumbles through tacklers for a gain of about 8.
Pickup brings up
The numbers for Sanders last week, 20 carries, 123 yards.
They've got a nice scheme going right now, and they run the football pretty well. In fact, I was talking with him on the field before the game, and he said he's starting to hear from the guys ahead of him on the rushing yardage total, and they want to know if he's going to jump up there and join them at the top of the list.
Give him 2 yards. That sets him up 1st and goal. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
brings up 2nd and goal.
On 2nd down, it's Sanders. And he'll work free from 1 tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal. So now things get interesting on 3rd and goal from the 1.
This almost becomes a Darwinian call, doesn't it? Almost survival of the fittest here. I know we can go all cliche. I'll go ahead and do it. Who wants it more here? Who has the better leverage at the line of scrimmage? Let's go and see what happens.
Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. It's the fullback. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run.
Michael Dixon, the kickoff for Seattle.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. To return, it's Peppers. A lane opens here. He's past the 30. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
Their own 34-yard line.
The 49er offense, they're coming back out onto the field, and we're going to give you a look at the playoff picture now into the weekend in the NFC. And the division title, that's out of reach. We know that. This is as good a spot, Charles, as they're going to get, that first wild card and the number 5 overall seed.
Part is not out of the question, especially with the 7 seeds that they have now.
Now the ball comes loose, and the Seahawks have picked it up, and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
Recovering by
both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning, it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on.
And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. You know, it's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and you know the teams knew it as well, that maybe they got fooled and thought, it's going to be okay. And now they're probably a little upset that it's out there.
Because warm-ups were dry.
Oh, well, dry. Now you've got to make the change up, and it's the first quarter. Might take them a little time to settle in on their focus and concentration.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So, flagged for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. Here's the correct call.
The best starting field position you could possibly have. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Miles Sanders with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Carlson now to add the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone.
Michael Dixon to kick off for Seattle.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. To return, it's Peppers. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35.
37-yard line.
San Francisco set to go on offense once more. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Nothing to score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
14. 49ers, nothing.
Now a play fake here on first down. He'll buy some time right. He's going to take off with it. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. But Charles, in the past, a lot of people called this offense one-dimensional.
I think you did.
Well,
I think it was you.
I'll be honest, I did. I think the fan base is hoping with this young rookie that they can put some wrinkles in this offense like we just saw.
I think you're exactly right, because we did have that discussion that what we've seen in the past from them, they needed to broaden. And they have done it here. Look at what he's bringing to their offense. And now, as a defensive coordinator, you've got some extra work to do to prepare for him and their offense.
2nd and 2. Steps away. He's going to take off with it. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
They'll run on first down. Crocker. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Now a throw here to his running back. No gain there, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Number 37.
The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. The quick hitter here, it's complete. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And no field goal try here from the red zone. Offense out there. They'll go for it on 4th. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. Completes it to Samuel. And the 49ers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now a give, right side. Crocker, and he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the 49ers have cut it back within a score. And, Charles, when you catch that toss going right or left, really, but right in this instance, do you go straight for the pylon? Is that where you're going?
Well, typically you want to try and maneuver people a little bit so you have some space to get to the pylon. So I want to make sure I try and move them a little bit to the inside, and in this case to the left, so I can get to the right side and get to that pylon and wink at it as I go by.
Point after here coming up. And that one makes it 14-7. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. Fielded right around the 8. Now a hit and a loose football. And he will bring this one back. It's a fumble return for the 49er touchdown.
I feel like I'm back in school. What was that book, you know? It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. This has been a tale of 2 quarters so far. They trailed 14-0 after 1. How about the rally we've been watching?
Yeah, a couple of touchdowns. P8's here to tie it up. This is a good ball game all of a sudden. Now for the point after. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And that 14-0 lead to begin the ball game, well, that's gone now. Time to regroup.
I think even up 2 touchdowns, they knew this wasn't going to be a walk in the park, and I think that's why we would see the head coach going up and down the sidelines telling his team, let's stay with it, let's keep going. It's almost like he knew they were going to make their run at him, and they have. As you said, let's see if they can
It got his man complete. And he will be taken down, but a big play there as it comes just as we reach the 2-minute warning. 37 yards.
2-yard line.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll run with Sanders. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
On 2nd down now, it's Sanders. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. These two rivals played 2 of the better games in the NFL a season ago. You remember Week 17, it was Dre Greenlaw stopping Jacob Hollister at the 1 to preserve a 26-21 49er win. And that wound up both winning them the NFC West and earning them the #1 seed. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
At the 1-yard line.
1-yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really, really well for the guys who threw it.
They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2. Now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. It's the fullback with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run.
Michael Dixon to kick off for Seattle.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Pulls it in at the 13. A good-looking return set up here.
Niners take over 1st and 10 at their own 37-yard line.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. Even though they might not find the #1 seed next to their name come playoff time, there's not going to be very many teams, if any, entering the playoffs on the kind of run they're on. They're hot.
And I love that word, hot, because every team in the league wants to go into the playoffs on that uptick, because a lot of the time you serve notice to the rest of the league that, hey, we're the team you need to deal with. We're the team that's going to be a real problem for you. And if they can continue this streak, they can very well be that team and gain that confidence that they're seeking as they head to the playoffs.
And confidence, that's the word I would use from our meetings with them. They said we're playing our best football right now. It is showing. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that is incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 42. A big play there just before halftime, and even 40 yards.
able to hit on a big play right there in the 2-minute drill. And now they've got a chance to use all the remaining clock and build on their lead right before halftime.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll run at Sanders. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle.
1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Here's Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll start by heading out west to Glendale, Arizona. And it's the Rams who have the lead in the second quarter. Kendrick Bourne, a touchdown reception. From there, we head to Hard Rock Stadium to check on the Dolphins at home in Miami. And they've got the lead over the visiting Denver Broncos. The Dolphins trying to hold on and claim victory. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And they currently trail in that game against the visiting Patriots. Dwayne Haskins has thrown a touchdown pass. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And he takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26. DK Metcalf of the Seattle offense about set to take over once again. And anytime a receiver's over 100 yards like he is, maybe the D coordinator scratching his head a little bit. If you're the D coordinator, what are you doing? Whatever he's not doing?
That's the best way to put it, but you have to treat him like the hot shooter in basketball, the guy that's just not missing. You run enough people at him to make him give up the ball in basketball. In this case, you've got to cover him with enough people that they throw the ball to someone else and make them beat you.
They're coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. Second half will start with a run by Sanders. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down with a nice little gain. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there. Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
I usually hesitate when I say a guy's got world-class speed, but this guy might. So let's fire the starter's pistol. Let's go. If you've got him, you've got to try and use him. A lot of anticipation with the ball in the air, but no, incomplete.
Strong run, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And he was able to shed one tackle, but could not get away from there. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's fourth down.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Yeah, that is incomplete, but there is a flag.
And on fourth down, this is a big call. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Shotgun snap and then the give to Sanders. Breaks free again. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football. And they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
The score is Seahawks 24, 49ers 14.
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Well, a dangerous return man showing it here.
At their own 31-yard line.
Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. They're down now 24-14. Work to do as they come up on a 1st and 10. The play fake. He'll look to throw. Rolling to his right. He'll try and run it. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6 at the 35-yard line.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
37.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Complete.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
They'll break the huddle and come out with 4 receivers, 3 of them to the right side, 2nd and 7. Back now in Seattle, Washington.
49ers.
It's 49er football, but some ground to cover. They find themselves behind as we hit the 4th and final quarter. Here's a 2nd and 7. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to George Kittle, his tight end. But now it'll be 3rd down. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points. Said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. And what are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. And in a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 12. Second play in a row with a 12-yard gain.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead. Right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first three quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Good job there defensively to push him back on first down. I'm not sure if this is four-down territory or not because they can kick the field goal and get it back within a score. But you know that's not what they're thinking right now. A field goal has to be their last option.
On second down, Crocker. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. The second down play not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, third and goal. They'll try to run this one in. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. He lost 2, and it brings up 4.
And you know it pains them to be this close, and you know they're going to want to go for it here, but they absolutely have to kick the field goal and get this back to a one-score game. It's only logical.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and this is back down to a 7-point game.
17.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
At their own 24-yard line.
DK Metcalf of the Seattle offense about set to take over once again. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games?
And this will be caught at the 30. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. It's a big play there from Seattle. 49 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver. And as this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
And he's going to have this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Niners' 20-yard line. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. This is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion.
They're facing a critical third down now as they try to hold on to this lead. Fights him off, and this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And that one hurts a bit. That was a golden opportunity to possibly put this one on ice, but he comes up empty.
And how big of a miss might that turn out to be? Stay tuned. There's still time left on the clock. This could be critical.
Still a 1-score game. Had he hit that, it would have been 2 scores. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
Looking for Ayuk, and he's got him. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 yards there. First down. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. That catch good for only a couple. And we've reached the 1-minute mark in this game. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game. They'll look to throw. It's caught. Jones. And he is going to have a Niners first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Now the Niners going to signal for their third and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. This is caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. As we wrap up here now, 4 games removed from the beginning of the war of words, these two teams, they do feel pretty even. Wouldn't it be kind of fitting if we got that 5th meeting in the playoffs?
Absolutely fitting. That would be tremendous, wouldn't it? Because there's nothing like a rivalry game with playoff implications or in the playoffs, which is even better. Entirely possible we see one more meeting between these two teams in the postseason. If that's the case, the winner moves on. Fun one to watch.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Seahawks here.